Today, I'm going to show you how to make Disney butter bars, and you won't even have to go to the park to enjoy these. So Disney releases some of their recipes throughout the year. You can usually find them over on Disney Parks blog. This is one of those recipes that they released. Sometimes during Food and Wine Festival, they'll release a lot more. But this is in the Werther's store inside the Germany pavilion over at EPCOT. And if you've ever seen these, they're not the coolest looking snack. They look kind of plain, but they are amazingly scrumptious. Like, you'll be dreaming about these bars. So I was really excited to find this recipe over on that blog. My son had asked for them for his birthday, and I thought, well, at $5 a piece, we're not buying a whole bunch of butter bars and then bringing them to the house. So I was really grateful to find this recipe, and we are going to pumpkin spice it up this year. So I found these Carmels at the grocery store, and they're limited edition, so do not walk, run to your local grocery store and see if you can find these. Check Target if you can't find them as well. And if you cannot find them, just use the regular Carmels. They're just as good. We're just gonna spice it up a little bit for pumpkin spice season. All right, let's go over ingredients. You're gonna need 1 cup of butter, a 1/2 cup of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a whole can of sweetened condensed milk, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and 5 ounces of Carmels unwrapped. I also prepared my baking dish. I believe this is called a jelly roll pan. But you want something that's about that 9 by 13 or a little bit smaller rectangle size pan. You can also do 2 shorter pans if you have those little tiny squares. Those work out great too. And of course, your cup of coffee. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is go over to our oven and preheat it for 350. Next, we're going to take our sugar and add it to our mixing bowl. I like to put my sugar on the bottom of the bowl before I put my butter in, just because I feel like it helps keep the butter off the bottom of the bowl and I don't have to spend so much time scraping my bowl. Then you're gonna add in your butter. And we're gonna take it over to the mixer and we're gonna beat it until it's nice and fluffy. Now remember, you want that nice fluffy butter. You don't want it just combined. You want it to actually change in a little bit of color and start to kind of whip up. Okay, so I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys. So if you can see, my butter is really fluffy. It's almost changed in color, and you can tell that that sugar is well combined into the butter. It's not just mixed, I whipped it really good. So this takes about 2 minutes, maybe 3. So now that our butter is all whipped up and fluffy, we're gonna go ahead and add in our flour and our salt. And we're gonna head back to our mixer and mix this until it's well combined. So I wanted to bring you close just to kind of show you that this is what it looks like when it's well combined. It almost comes together kind of like a shortbread, and so it's gonna be crumbly because we're gonna press it into our pan, which we're going to do right now. All right, so you're going to want to use about 2/3 of your mixture for the bottom base layer of your butter bars. You want to save some because you're going to need a topping. So you're just going to have to eyeball this and just see how much you need based off of your own guesstimate. I suppose you could get a scale out and measure, but you know what? I'm a busy mom. And sometimes I don't want to be so precise. I'm going to set this over here. So obviously make sure your hands are clean, and we're just going to push this out, like I said, kind of like a shortbread bottom. And you just want to make sure it's evenly spread throughout the bottom of your dish here, or your pan. Okay. So for the most part, I just kind of go off of what I feel. If I can feel the bottom of the pan, then I add more. But if I can't feel the bottom of the pan and it looks pretty even across my edges and everything, then I'm good. So now we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna make that caramel middle. Okay, so next we're going to melt our caramel with our sweetened condensed milk and our vanilla. We'll add the vanilla at the end. So the first thing we're gonna add is all of our sweetened condensed milk. This is the whole can. Okay, next you just wanna get all your caramels in there. They're probably sticking to the bottom of your bowl by now. There we go. All right, and like I said, do not add the vanilla yet. All right, so we're gonna move over to our stove. We're gonna put this on a medium-low heat. You just want it warm enough that all the caramels will melt. Once the caramels are melted, then we'll add in the vanilla and remove it from the heat. All right, so we're all done with that. We're going to bring it over here and we're gonna pour it directly onto our base. All right, I see a couple pieces that did not get melted, but that's all right. Somebody will get an extra treat. Okay, so we're just gonna spread it all over here. Not all the way to the edge. I like to leave kind of like a little bit of an edge of the cookie base. Once again, make sure your hands are clean. We're gonna get dirty here. We're gonna take the remaining portion of our crust and we're just going to sprinkle it on. All right, now we're gonna take these and put them in our oven for about 25 to 30 minutes until they start to have that kind of golden brown color on the crust. And then we want to let them completely cool before we cut into them. I know it'll be hard, but we can do it. And you know what time it is. So our butter bars are all done. We're just gonna let them cool here on the counter for a little bit and then we'll cut them up and we'll enjoy them here soon.